execution, and ball control.
Well, this team has more pride than any team that I've ever seen or any team that I've ever played on.
This has been a great team. I don't know what it is, but we are definitely a gelled ball club.
Jack Kemp, Billy Shaw, and Ernie Wallach sum up the spirit and drive of a team that met and passed the true test of a champion by beating off all challenges to its right to the American Football League title. Buffalo Savings Bank presents the Test of a Champion. The 1965 Buffalo Bills highlights. The 1964 championship pennant flies over War Memorial Stadium in Buffalo as a reminder to all that this is the team to beat in 1965. Many felt the 64 Bills were not the best team in the AFL, and the 65 Bills were out to prove their critics wrong. This is the story of the Bills' 65 defense of their American Football League championship. After opening the season with a 24-7 triumph over Boston, the Bills traveled to the mile-high city of Denver to meet the Broncos. It was a head-to-head test of the off-season trade of Cookie Gilchrist for Billy Joe as the two fullbacks traded uniforms. The Bills' passing game was emerging as a powerful force with Jack Kemp the kingpin. He throws one for 48 yards to Albert DeBenyon, who makes a great catch. It's the longest pass of the game. Kemp calls on halfback Ray Carlton to get the touchdown, and the Bills take a 13-0 lead into the second half. DeBenyon, who set the league's pass receiving record in '64, was off to a fine start in '65. Doobie is one of the swiftest flankers in the AFL. He breaks away from Willie Brown to pick up 20 additional yards on the play. As a deep threat, DeBenyon is only one of many weapons in the Buffalo aerial assault. Ray Carlton makes one of his 5 catches that totaled 68 yards. Kemp's 20 completions in 49 attempts netted 280 yards and 1 touchdown, with Billy Joe on the scoring end. At this point, the Joe Gilchrist trade looked golden as far as the Bills were concerned. Joe breaks away for 30 yards in the 4th period, his longest run of the young season. Joe's run sets up Buffalo's second and final touchdown of the game. Quarterback Kemp performs the honors. All afternoon, Gilchrist runs into trouble at the hands of the Bill defense. The 1964 AFL rushing leader manages only 26 yards in 12 carries, an average of only 2.2 yards. The Buffalo defensive platoon terrorized the Broncos. Cornerback Charlie Warner intercepts a Mickey Slaughter pass. This is just one of 3 Charlie picked off in this game, as the Bills intercepted a total of 5. The airtight defense and smooth running offense down Denver 30-15. The Bills came home for the 3rd game of the season to meet the New York Jets. It was a sad day for Buffalo fans everywhere as DeBenyon, the fastest man in pro football, was injured. At this point, Buffalo's passing attack had gelled into a mighty weapon. Glenn Bass at split end teamed with DeBenyon as the Bills' 2 primary receivers. Kemp's accurate arm aims toward DeBenyon. Doobie went on to catch 6 out of 7 in this game. This first quarter drive is climaxed by Kemp. He crosses up the Jet defenders and follows Captain Billy Shaw in for the touchdown. By the end of the afternoon, Kemp was the AFL's leading passer. A 3rd quarter march by the Bills shows the explosive effectiveness of their aerial barrage. It starts with a 15-yarder to DeBenyon. Kemp combines with Glenn Bass for 17 more. Jack stung the Jets for 22 completions in 39 attempts. Kemp stays in the air. He pinpoints DeBenyon for 13 yards as the ill-fated drive approaches a sudden and tragic climax. This 11-yard touchdown toss to DeBenyon is the end of the season for Doobie. The Bills' great flanker is seriously injured. Let's take a closer look at the play with our stop-action camera. Kemp throws to DeBenyon, who's covered by Willie West. Doobie makes the catch, but his left leg is pinned under West's tackle, tearing a ligament in the knee. Elbert DeBenyon is lost to the Bills for the remainder of the year. It's rookie Joe Namath's first start in the AFL, and he falls victim to the fierce pass rush of defensive end Tommy Day. Coach Joe Collier comments on the Bills' safety blitz.
We only do it in what we feel is a real good percentage situation. Probably the most we've safety blitz in a ball game this year is maybe 3 times in one particular game.
Namath must have profited from his hard-earned experience. He went on to become Rookie of the Year for 65. For Buffalo, it was 3 straight with a 33-21 victory over New York. With DeBenyon out and the tough Raiders of Oakland coming in, the Bills' problems began to multiply. Doobie was lost for the season, and Buffalo had to adjust its style of play with only 1 deep receiver. Bass catches a Kemp bomb for 38 yards, one of the 2 he caught against Oakland before being injured. With his core of receivers decimated, Kemp had to curtail his passing, and he wound up throwing only 21 all day. Billy Joe takes the ball in for the score as the Bills enter the second half tied 10-10. The well-coached Buffalo defense had a banner day, holding Raider quarterback Tommy Flores to 7 completions in 26 attempts, with none in the second half. Butch Bird and George Sames double-team Art Powell, preventing an Oakland touchdown. The blitz is on with linebacker Harry Jacobs set to rush Tom Flores. It looks as if Jacobs is going to be taken out of the play, but the baby-faced assassin storms through, spilling Flores for a 12-yard loss. With excellent defensive help, the Bills used ground power to ice the game in the third period. Ray Carlton and Billy Joe come through in high style. Joe racks up the longest run of the game as he sprints 20 yards down the sideline. The ground troops are taking up the slack. Kemp and Joe team up again. This time it's their screen pass. This play was a big gainer for the Bills all season. The game-winning play is a short pass over the middle to Ernie Worley. The defense holds the rest of the way as the Bills remain undefeated with a 17-12 victory over Oakland. It was a rematch of '64 champions as the San Diego Chargers invaded War Memorial Stadium before a standing-room-only crowd. This game saw the end of Buffalo's only other deep threat as an injury against Oakland forced Glenn Bass to the sideline for the season. Charlie Ferguson took over for Bass at split end. Fergie was making his first start. This 36-yard Kemp pass looks like a sure touchdown, but Ferguson can't hang on to it, and Buffalo never did get any closer to a touchdown in this game. At this point, Kemp led the AFL in passing. The deep threat is gone, but Jack keeps plugging away with a screen to Billy Joe. This drive grinds to a halt, but Pete Gogolek is there to boot 3 points on the scoreboard, the only Buffalo tally. San Diego was leading the league in total offense and shows why. Keith Lincoln turns passer, and Paul Norton has it for 31 yards. Now it's Paul Lowe's turn, and he makes the halfback pass work to Dave Kasurik. Here's one of the wildest ad-lib plays of the year. Lowe is trapped, shovels the ball to John Hadel, who's rushed. Hadel finally breaks away and passes to Lance Allworth all alone in the end zone. San Diego storms on top and remains there. Buffalo didn't have much to cheer about on this chilly October afternoon, but Ferguson gives an indication of things to come when he makes his first great big catch as a Bill. But a Kemp end zone pass is picked off by Les Duncan, ending any Buffalo hope for victory. John Hadel puts the finishing touch to a devastating game. Hadel's bomb to Lance Allworth results in a 52-yard touchdown as San Diego hands Buffalo its first defeat, 34-3. Things look bleak for the Buffalo Bills as they travel to Kansas City following the demoralizing loss to San Diego. Rookie Paul Costa from Notre Dame got a shot at tight end and performed admirably. With Buffalo trailing 7-0 in the second period, our slow-motion camera records Jack Kemp getting good protection from Dick Hudson, Al B. Miller, and Billy Shaw. Kemp passes to Costa, slanting over the middle. The 23-year-old rookie picks up 32 yards. Costa's play in this game won him the starting berth at tight end over veteran Ernie Warlick for most of the remaining regular season games. The Bills trail 7-3 after 3 quarters, but Darryl LaMonica and Charlie Ferguson spearhead a come-from-behind victory. In LaMonica's own words,
Fergie unfortunately had some dropitis, as we call it, but he came back and did an outstanding job and came through with a big play when we needed it the most.
Ferguson's offensive heroics put Buffalo in the lead to stay. Much credit for this victory must go to the defensive unit. George Sames puts the safety blitz on Pete Third, causing a fumble. Sames tracks down the ball, picks it up, and goes in for a score. 2 Kansas City fumbles and 3 Buffalo interceptions, all in the final period, result in a 23-7 Buffalo win. It was the first War Memorial Stadium appearance for Cookie Gilchrist in a Bronco uniform as Denver came to town. In a surprise move, the Bills had traded for Oakland flanker Bo Roberson. With 8 games left to play, no one was picking Buffalo with their patched-up offense to repeat as AFL champs. But plays like this 78-yard touchdown by Billy Joe seem to mock the experts. Buffalo is now operating with a whole new corps of receivers. It's not the same team that won the '64 championship. Bo Roberson proves it. It's his first catch in a Bills uniform. Tight end Paul Costa has solidified a place for himself in Buffalo's future. The surprising rookie continues to develop with a spectacular grab of a 46-yard pass. Charlie Ferguson, the new face at split end, caps this touchdown charge with an 8-yard reception. All 3 members of the new receiver corps contribute to this second quarter score. The Bills, forced into a running game a few weeks earlier, don't desert it, as Ray Carlton leads the ground attack. But with added passing strength, it's now a 2-pronged assault. The final figures, 27 passes and 23 ground plays. Stu Barber throws a great block as Billy Joe runs a screen pass. By the final gun, the Buffalo Bills sported a seasonal log of 6 wins and 1 loss by capturing a stirring 31-13 win over Denver. Buffalo suffered an upset loss at the hands of Houston, and the Bills were doubly determined to get back on the winning track at Fenway Park in Boston. Defensive back Charlie Warner had a banner day by racking up the longest kickoff return in AFL history. Justin Canale kicks off for the Patriots with Warner retreating 2 yards deep into the end zone to make the catch. Charlie, describe it for us.
We got a couple of good blocks. And about the 35-yard line, I hit the opening, and there was nobody but me in the safety, and just smooth sailing from down there.
Charlie Warner gallops 102 record-breaking yards for the longest kickoff return in AFL history. In the second quarter, Boston gets close to the Buffalo goal and makes 2 unsuccessful attempts to score on the ground. Then halfback J.D. Garrett is given the ball and just makes it in for the first touchdown on the ground against the Bills in 18 straight games. It was a blow to the esteem of the defensive squad, but Buffalo won 23-7. The Bills left Buffalo to embark on a challenging 3-game road schedule. Oakland was the first stop, with the Raiders only a game and a half behind San Diego in the West. The Bills realized this Western swing would make or break their chances for the Eastern